I anticipate, sir, based on your experience as Speaker, that the thoughts of passing some of these controversial bills during a lame duck session is a reality?
No. I think it will be the level of anger that would grow in this country if they tried to cheat like that. If they decisively lose in November, they will have no moral authority to have a lame duck session of anything that's important. And any Democratic senator who's up in 12 who went into a lame duck and voted for that stuff would be killed, and they would guarantee a further destruction of the Democratic Party. I do not believe that's a practical possibility.
Would you be endorsing that if Obie was not retiring?
Yes, absolutely. I think that with all respect to Congressman Obie, he has been one of those people who presided over the growth of massive government at massive cost, which has killed many jobs. And I think that having a new congressman from here who's more in the Mel Laird tradition and who's more committed to controlling spending, cutting taxes, and creating jobs in Wisconsin is very, very important. And I had planned to come in if Obie had stayed in. So I'm equally happy to come in now that Obie's protege is trying to win.
Mr. Speaker, you place quite an emphasis on jobs, and I really appreciate that, for one. And in this area, it's desperately needed. However, we also have a problem where Representative Gutierrez from Illinois blatantly states openly that there are more than 10 million illegal Mexicans that hold high-paying jobs with benefits in Illinois alone. Do you think it's about time we do something about that so people like our local contractors and our local people who want to work in factories can have an opportunity at those jobs? Or is the Republican standpoint going to continue to be kind of the wishy-washy, we're going to do a little amnesty or pathway to citizenship? Because quite honestly, Mr. Speaker, American public is not interested in that. What is your take?
Well, first of all, the number is grossly exaggerated. If you say only for Illinois, that number might be true nationwide for the entire country.
That's just quoting the representative.
That may be true for the whole country, certainly not true for Illinois. Look, I believe we have to get back to a legal system. And I think the legal system has to include controlling the border. The legal system has to include a commitment to a guest worker program that is outsourced to American Express, Visa, or MasterCard, so you have a sophisticated system that doesn't have fraud, because no federal bureaucracy could keep up with it. I think that you have to have severe sanctions for employers who hire people who are outside the legal system. And I think that you have to say that anybody who wants to become an American citizen has to learn English and has to be committed to becoming an American. But I think then you have to figure out the transition for people who came here illegally, some of whom are going to have to go home, and some of whom are not. I mean, the fact is, we have somebody who's lived here 16 years and they paid taxes and they're married and they have 3 kids. I doubt very much if their local community is going to say, let's deport them. Or, as happened literally in Dallas, a 19-year-old who had graduated from high school as a valedictorian and could not go to a Texas State University because they didn't have citizenship. They came here at the age of 3. Now, I doubt very much that people are going to want to deport that 19-year-old. So we have to have some balanced approach that says, if you have no ties and no roots in this, you're going to have to go home and apply for a guest worker card from home. If your local community has a reason to believe that you're a part of the community and you're law-abiding, I don't think you get a path to citizenship, but I suspect we want to find a way to help you get a path to legality.
As a follow-up to that, thank you. You spoke about Egypt and other Asian. In regards to competing with these countries, are you in favor of the way the Security and Prosperity Partnership dealt with competing, that is driving down the American wage through this open border situation, which was explicitly written in the Security and Prosperity Partnership?
No, let me say, first of all, the Egyptian...
How do we compete if we don't drive down our labor?
In the first place, in the Egyptian case, it's the moratorium on drilling in the Gulf which sent a major rig with thousands of jobs to Egypt. These are high-paying jobs which ought to be in Louisiana, and the Obama administration shipped them to Egypt. I think they shipped a second one just recently to the west coast of Africa. Now, these are high-paying, these are not, low-wage jobs. In the case of China, the reason I favor 100% expensing for all new equipment, and I favor zero capital gains tax, is I want American workers to have the most modern technology, to be the most productive, to be in a position where, you know, where we outproduce our competitors, we don't underpay. And if you, remember, all income is a function of productivity. If you're 4 times as productive as the Chinese, you can have 4 times the income. That requires a pro-entrepreneur, pro-investment, pro-savings kind of strategy.